Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back. This is U.S. Home Talk, and we're live every Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. We do appreciate you tuning in, whether it's live or later in the week. My name is Jason Walgrave. I'm with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We've got Marcus Walgrave with Hague Realtors out of the great city and state of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We've got mortgage, awesome sweater, Michael Overson today here with Illuminate Bank. We got Evan, the mighty producer and insurance guru that's making this thing all happen. So before we get rolling today, kind of got a fun one. Holiday real estate, the do's and don'ts of selling your home this holiday season. We're going to go over that one. But folks, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will not be here next week, which is Christmas, the following week, which is New Year's Day. But we'll be starting back up the week after that. So want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a wonderful holiday season. It's an opportunity to take a little time off, spend time with family and friends and loved ones, celebrate this wonderful time of the year. So want to shout that out to get started.
Absolutely. It's a great time to drive through a blizzard, all that fun stuff. Was that last year? Was that last year we had the blizzard up here for Christmas, or was it 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Last year we got like no snow.
Rain. Oh, that's right.
So
yeah.
Rain.
That's right. 2 years ago we had that blizzard where they shut down I-90.
Yes.
And we had to drive down to Iowa and then go across the state of Iowa and then come back up to Minnesota to get back home for Christmas. That was fun.
It's an adventure.
You got to go south. You got to go south to dodge this snow.
That was a 3.5 hour drive that turned into 7 hours and 45 minutes is what that was.
The most snow that
Jason.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The most snow that I saw last year was when I went to Ames, Iowa, for a track meet for Tanian. And they had, I think the night before they'd gotten like 12 or 13 inches. So it left here and it's basically like it is now. There's no snow. Drove to Iowa 4 hours south and it's like snowstorm everywhere. So it was kind of wild.
With the happy holidays that we have come up here, Merry Christmas, and we need to add also an early happy birthday to Mr. Mortgage Mike.
Yeah,
I got a birthday coming up very soon. Yes,
is that tomorrow?
Hours away.
Ooh, tomorrow.
Mike, 35?
36.
Yeah, well, I'm 35 now. I'll be
36?
36, yes.
Yeah,
36.
36 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do we
I'm not
need to
good with
sing
numbers, but
happy birthday, Jason. Can you sing, Mike? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
it's not in a creepy way, though. That's a little too creepy there.
Singing wasn't part of the Walgrave family. Sorry,
no,
Mike.
we did not get any singing or genes at all. We've got hardly any
I
musical
appreciate
talent.
it, fellas. Appreciate that. Yeah. 36 tomorrow.
Taking the day off and
Awesome.
and probably sleep in and
Yeah, good one. I wish.
that hasn't happened in the 20 years you've been doing mortgages.
No.
there are a few things that make me feel worse about my age than my age being used as the joke age that you're turning, and me going, man, but I already feel so awful.
Yeah, just look at all the good stuff you have to look forward to, Evan.
Exactly.
I mean, gray hair. Well, you already lost your hair, so I'm going gray beard. You're gonna get a
I'll
gray
take
beard.
gray hair over losing
I'm
gray
a little
beard.
bit in there. You can't quite see it on this camera, but I do have little streaks of gray there and there.
That's
It's
the
coming.
start of it. 10 years, Evan. 10 years, that thing's going to be solid gray.
Oh yeah.
You do Santa Claus at Christmas then. Just grow it all year, and Evan would make a good Santa Claus, I think.
I think so. I think he would.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right,
kids,
folks.
what do you want this year? You want the lower deductible on your insurance policy? Okay, I can handle that for you.
Should we bundle and save some money?
Your Clue report says you've been very naughty.
All right, folks, best way to get hold of us anytime, of course, is our website, ushometalk.com. We've got all of our past shows. You can connect with all our fantastic partners. We've got great reports, information on buying, selling, investing in real estate, financing, refinancing, new construction, commercial real estate, land. It's a fantastic resource, and we do encourage you to check it out. I think most of the folks that tune into our show do it later in the week. That's the beautiful part about streaming on Facebook and YouTube, is you can access the show whenever it's convenient for you. So we do appreciate whenever it is that you tune in and all the support we've had. We're coming into, this is our last show of the first year, right?
Last show of the last
second year.
The last. How many years has this been?
I think 1 year, right?
Is it the first year of US Home Talk?
It feels like it's been years.
It's been over. We're almost at the end of our second year, because we actually started a few
Yeah. I agree with that. Yep.
Well,
I think
congratulations.
this is our
on
second
our
holiday
year.
show.
Our second holiday show.
I know, because when I upload the podcast, I label them seasons based off of the year that we're in, and we're in season 2. So,
Man, congratulations, guys. We made it through season 2.
Heck yeah, baby.
Nobody thought we would. So be sure to check out the website, ushometalk.com. We've got a real estate hotline number, 612-234-7585. You can connect with us anytime. It also allows you to connect with our partners as well. So anything and everything real estate related, call or text anytime, 612-234-7585. And be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. All right, holiday season. Let's talk about some do's and don'ts. We're going to start off with, this is interesting. We're going to go through the do's first for selling your home during the holiday season. Do's. First one, consider timing. Timing is everything when it comes to real estate listings. So this information is coming from Realtor.com. They used traffic search data to identify the busiest times for real estate agents. They determined highest volume came on the Sunday after Christmas, just after Black Friday, throughout November leading up to Thanksgiving, and then right after the New Year. So this is interesting, right? And so we have a lot of folks that are going to be listing their homes in January. And maybe this would be a time to consider doing a coming soon now. So if you've got one of the most traffic times for real estate search engines, so we're talking about Realtor.com, Homes.com, Zillow, all the places that buyers are doing their research, and a lot of times their initial search for a home. Maybe that means that you should put your listing on as a to be or coming soon, to make sure that we hit that high traffic area. So that was a pretty cool stat that I thought. Do make video tours. So if you're talking about some of the northern states in the U.S., sometimes it's colder, right? Sometimes the weather is less than desirable to go out and look at homes and tour homes. So if you have video tours that are a part of your marketing campaign, it allows buyers to really get a good feel for the home without actually going to it. We really like the video walkthroughs. Many years ago, we did a lot of the 360 tours or the virtual tours. Now we prefer video walkthroughs where it's someone literally walking through the home. Maybe we've got some music in the background or we've got some explanations. But it can give buyers a really good idea of what the home feels like above and beyond what the photos are. Do you find those be helpful, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely when you talk about weather too, right? I mean, you get individuals who are online searching whether they just have some extra time off during the holidays. and maybe that's why they're on their smartphones or tablets more. They're spending more time online, checking things out, probably shopping as well, right? Need to take a little break from online shopping, might as well look at some houses, kind of a deal. But yeah, I mean, we always talk about first impressions being so important, and having professional photography done for a listing. And so if you can grab that individual's attention by that first impressions of those high quality real estate photos, and they hop on there and they just, oh, hey, there's a link to a tour, I guarantee you everybody will click that link. If they took the time to look at more details on your listing, and there's a tour on there, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and you think about in the last 4 or 5 years how popular short videos have become. Reels and shorts and it's I mean, I think it's moving to the preferred method of learning more about something, and so I think it also speaks to how our attention span is very limited, probably more than ever before. So maybe it's a 60-second or a 90-second short walkthrough of the home, but that's what consumers are looking for. They're looking for those short videos. I think that it'll help your listing and your home stand out and potentially get more traffic, certainly more exposure, which will likely end in a higher sale price.
One thing to keep in mind this time of year too, if you have, exceptional landscaping, or if you're located on a lake, where like the summer views that you get on the exterior of your home, are seasonal, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have those, share those with your agent, right? It's like, hey, I got some summer photos. I got some summer videos. I have, a drone shot from the summer or whatever. Make sure you bring that up to your agent too, to add that on there, because then that can highlight, those exterior features and the landscape and stuff that you have, where people might not be able to see that in the winter.
Yeah, especially if it snows and that landscaping in your yard gets covered up. Next on our list is actually do maximize curb appeal. So, if you have snow, make sure that driveway is shoveled and make sure that sidewalk is shoveled. This can be a good time of year to put a wreath on the door, or some winter, plants and pots outside the front door. So it's, and make sure it's cleaned up, guys. I mean, I did a listing appointment yesterday, and they've got a sport court in the backyard. Super cool, full size, basketball court, outdoor sport court in the backyard. Really cool. We're going to be listing their house probably end of January, but it's like half leaf covered. I mean, there's leaves over half of it, sticks everywhere. And they weren't prepared for photos anyway. So, but I was walking back there and I was thinking, I got to make sure they get the leaf blower out here and clean it up, and even though it's winter, you want to do your best to maximize curb appeal and outside appeal. So,
I mean, speaking of wreaths, go ahead, Marcus.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say
when you
you go
with the leaves, right? I mean, that's some trees, they just hang on. They're like the way past freezing, and it's not like it's anybody's fault, as they just hang on, and they're probably the neighbors too. They weren't even like your clients who are gonna listen. You got this old oak tree to the neighbor and dumped on the sport court. So, but it helps to get that stuff cleaned up.
Yeah. It's one of those things too. It's like you want to highlight the features, right? You want to highlight that even though it's winter. If you can make it look better and have them imagine what it looks like, in the summertime, we'd actually use something like that. That would be great. I was just going to say, speaking of wreaths, this time of year, do you guys know what you call a wreath made out of $100 bills?
No.
A wreath of Franklin's.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
That's a beautiful dad joke. Right
That's
there,
good. I like it.
I like that one. I do.
Evan's
I have
rolling
not
his
heard
eyes
that
right
one.
now.
Dad joke.
Yeah.
Dad joke.
Yeah, I do like that one. I have to make a confession. My neighbors probably think I'm a little nuts because I've got this OCD about leaves in my front yard. So for the last 3 months, about weekly, I'm out there blowing all the leaves off the front yard.
Onto the neighbors.
No, not onto the neighbors, but off the front yard.
Take your leaves back.
So my front yard, now the sides and back, I can't say, but the front yard it looks pretty good. There's no leaves on there, but I'm sure my neighbors think I'm nuts. So maybe I took it a little too far. All right, next on our list, do get into the holiday spirit. So holiday is a perfect time to make the house cozy and charming. Maybe you've got some things you're hanging around the fireplace, or don't be afraid to decorate for the holiday, even if you're going to have your house on the market. We'll talk about a little bit later in the don'ts. I mean, don't go overboard. We don't want to, Griswold it or anything like that, right? But it's definitely
no big
okay.
Snowman.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be careful on the amount of lights, but for the most part, it's going to help you. It makes it feel like a home. It makes it feel homey, and that's a good thing. So do get into the holiday spirit. We still have clients that like to leave out cookies or leave out some little snacks during the showings or the open houses. And definitely during this time of year, the holidays, you get a lot of extra. I feel like my sweet tooth is like in full during the holidays, because I find myself hammering down a lot of sugar.
Same here.
So
a lot of chocolate
just everywhere.
Yeah, you leave Halloween with just mountains and mountains of candy everywhere, and then you go into like the heavy dessert holiday of Thanksgiving, and then you just roll right into hot chocolate and candy canes and
just all the different cookies. My dad and stepmom, they make like 32 different types of cookies. You know what I mean? During the holiday season, they literally take 2 days, a full Saturday, full Sunday, and they make this, and then they have it, ready for all the different people that come over and visit them, and Christmas with all the family and all that stuff. And so it's like, you ain't going over there without, probably throwing down at least 6 or 7 different kinds of them. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm a sucker for the tin, the big tin, the round tins with the cookies, like the sugar cookies. I think they're called biscuits, but my goodness. Like, it's just one little sleeve. It's just 2 sleeves. Yes, there's 5 cookies in each sleeve, but it was only 2 sleeves.
Right.
So
I love it. Do make forecasts your friend. And so what does that mean? Keep an eye on the weather, guys. Keep an eye on the weather. If, let's say you've got an open house scheduled for Saturday and you got some snow rolling in, or you got some sleet or some rain or some bad weather, don't be afraid to reschedule that. I mean, it's, if the weather's not great, folks are just, most of them are not going to come out. And so keep that in mind, keep an eye on the weather. It's okay to reschedule open houses or even showings. I mean, last thing we want is to, for a client or ourselves to, go in the ditch because the roads are too bad. And so keep an eye on the weather, keep the forecasts, your friend. Last on our do consider, our do list during the holidays is do consider pricing to sell. And so nobody wants to be seen as a Scrooge. If you're listening during the holidays, you need to sell, right? And or that's what people think. Well, if they're listening over the holidays, they need to sell. But pricing is so important. We talk about this all the time during the year, regardless if it's a seller's market. Folks, you got to make sure that your agent is doing the research, that you understand the data, what the home's value is, and it's important to price it right. Price it right during the holiday season. Price it right anytime during the year. Buyers today, I think, they certainly have access to more data and more information than ever before. And if they're going out and they're looking at 7 or 8 homes that are priced correctly, and then they see yours, they probably won't even come look at it. Certainly are unlikely to make an offer when they're comparing it to the homes that are priced right. So do make sure that you are pricing it correctly. Folks, be sure to check out our website, MinnesotaUSHometalk.com.
yes.
That was only like a half fail.
We need a jar.
That was only
something.
like a half fail because I didn't finish the sentence.
You need like a swear jar where you got to throw into it, if you say,
All right, USHometalk.com.
Awesome.
Be sure to check it out. You can always connect with us anytime, 24 hours a day. Marcus, Mike, myself, Evan, all of our fantastic partners. And it has all of our past shows in there as well. All right, now, during the holiday season, thinking about selling, putting your house on the market, here are the don'ts. Don't skip the research. And what does that mean? So it's important that your agent does the research on, who's buying during the holiday season. Know who the likely buyers are. There's information out there that can identify who is likely to be buying over the holidays. It's whether they're married or unmarried, job transfers, relocation. Make sure you do the research. Then you can direct or focus your advertising and marketing efforts on that particular buyer. This comes back to one of the do's: don't overly deck the halls. And again, so embrace that Christmas and holiday spirit, but don't overdo it. I mean, I'm laughing because we've all been into homes where, oh my goodness,
you're just
did they? I showed a house.
Where do you store it?
Oh my goodness, I showed a house last winter, and they were into Christmas, right? And so we walk in the door, and the whole living room into the dining room, there was like this shelf built close to the ceiling, and it had those, I don't even know what they're called. They're like little like houses and Christmas scenes or whatever. The entire thing was packed, and it was
villages.
That's what they are.
Holiday villages. Yep.
Holiday villages. The entire wall. and granted, it was cool. It was cool, but guess what my buyers did? All they were doing was
they
talking
just want to
about
look
the
at
villages. That's exactly right. And the house had a lot to offer. They were so distracted by all of the stuff in the house that the house really never was an option for them. A big reason for that is because there was just too many things going on that pulled away from the house. So don't overly deck the halls. Don't forget about local marketing channels. And so, depending on where you're at, sometimes you've got local publications, you got local magazines, local papers. People are, I think generally speaking, they're looking at the paper more during the holidays, whether they're looking for the ads or the things that are on sale. So make sure that you're aware of your local marketing channels, whether it's digital or radio or TV or a newspaper. Those can be really effective as well. Don't underestimate the value of a new listing. Look, we've got buyers that we've been working with that have been looking for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe longer. And guess what? We got them set up on their custom home searches that are specific to what they're looking for. They're looking at every single new listing that pops on the market. I look at I've got a search set up for a specific area, pretty much anything that's in Prior Lake Savage School District. Every day that I get that email, I'm looking at those new listings. And so new listings are powerful. You're going to get the most eyeballs and the most interest and action on new listings in those first, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe up to 30 days. So don't underestimate the value of a new listing, even if you're listing it during the holiday season. I think that's important and certainly can be effective.
So along those lines, question for you guys. So let's say someone listed their house right after Thanksgiving, right? Let's get through Thanksgiving. December 1st, I think, was a Sunday, right? Or maybe it was the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which was like November 30th, I believe. So November 30th, your listing went live. And let's say it hasn't sold yet. Okay, so we're pushing up on December 20th, coming up here. So, it's been on for a solid 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. Do you guys pull that listing down for Christmas and New Year's and go back on right after New Year's, or do you guys leave it up?
No, generally we're leaving it up. And the biggest reason, you're going to have, I think, the slowest time of the year for showings and activity, in-person activity is going to be basically between now and the end of the year. So the next 2 weeks. But almost all serious buyers are going to continue to look almost every single day. So if you pull it off the market, they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it on those home buying websites, right? And so we always prepare our sellers. Look, it's going to be a little quiet, a little slow for showings in the next couple of weeks. But if we pull it off, or if we do temporary not available for showing, then those buyers aren't going to see it. And what happens a lot of times around the holidays, people are getting engaged. And a lot of times engagements lead to, let's start thinking about buying a house. So let's jump on the websites. If you're off the market, they're not going to see it. In most cases, we recommend keeping it live, active on the market through the holidays.
Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. He's kind of like the stock market, right? I mean, yes, everybody would love to sell high and buy low, but historically has shown that as long as you're in the game, you're going to perform better instead of trying to do this guessing like, hey, let's pull it for Christmas week because everybody's going to be busy doing family stuff, holiday stuff. Well, to Jason's point, it's like, yes, that might be true, but when you look at, again, like the stats, like a search engine or a property search site like Realtor.com saying that's when they historically have the highest traffic. It's like, well, you kind of try to crystal ball it, and you're likely going to miss more than you hit with that type of mentality.
Yep, definitely. And we're talking about tips of listing and selling your home during the holiday season. Around the don'ts. Don't leave out the sunlight. So we have less sun during our days and this time of the year. It's so important to make sure that you've got those window shades open. We encourage showings during the day so they can see the backyard and the outside space.
Good point.
Make sure those windows are open. If it is darker, make sure you got all the lights turned on, front lights, all the lights in the home. We want to make sure we showcase the home and people can see what you have to offer. Don't skip on description. And so, they've got this on our list of things to do during the holiday season, but for our team, and Marcus, I know you guys do this too, it's so important to use descriptions, detailed descriptions in your listing, right? Under the agent remarks and the public remarks, but even all the photos. The more details you can give and the more descriptions you can give about that property, it's easier to share the story and the lifestyle of what it would mean to own and buy this house and live there. So make sure that you're spending time on the descriptions and giving lots of detail. Any additional thoughts from you guys? No,
I think those are great do's and don'ts, Jason.
I
that
was
gave
a great
you
so
list.
Much information.
I think the weather's a big one for us, right? I think that's something we definitely have clients that have already moved out. I mean, there's some great loan products out there to where people, a homeowner can buy a home prior to selling their home. I know, Mike, you guys got some great loan products over at Illuminate Home Loans, and that can allow people to get into those situations. So it's common to have, a property that might be, partially moved out, fully moved out, and just making sure that you leave some of that equipment back, whether it's a couple shovels or, I mean, if you got a big driveway, something a snowblower to kind of remove that snow, and have that game plan set in place, whether you are going to do it yourself, can head back, or maybe simply align yourself with a great local property maintenance company and just have them. You have your property on their list, and then you don't really have to worry about it too much. They're going to go ahead and get the snow off and kind of take care of it that way. So I'd say, this time of year, definitely want to just be on top of the snow if we do indeed get it this winter.
Folks, we do appreciate you tuning in. Again, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year's, a wonderful holiday season. We appreciate all the support over the last 2 years and looking forward to our next show in 2025. And hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. Where's our outro music?
Happy birthday to Mike.
There it comes. There it comes. All right, guys, be blessed and have a safe and wonderful holiday season. We'll see you next year.